G'day guys. I'm gonna do a few mods to the car. So yeah, I've just turned 50, so my wife bought me a brand new worn High Mount with synthetic rope. So I'm gonna modify this bar to suit the High Mount. So hopefully you can stick around. Yeah, we'll see how it all goes. Alright, so here's the new winch. I've already opened it up and had a look at it obviously, but oops, here it is. Yeah, there it is. You've still got to wind the rope on. I'm gonna do a few mods, brace it and put the bearing mod on the end cover, and that's all I'm gonna do. It's not gonna get, it's not a winch truck, so it doesn't need anything too extreme. But yeah, there it is. Yeah, so this is the a bit of a template we've come up with for the bullbar mod. So because that's a non winch bar that I've got on there, which I modified already for the low mount, but with the high mount I'm just gonna, it's just got to come out. I think it was about 60 mil or something, just to clear, because I don't want to cut my grill or anything. So I've just got to fold up this, cut it in that kind of shape there, and then we'll infill everything and strengthen it up a little bit as well. Yeah, so my first step will be removing the old winch. Yeah, and then I think I'm gonna I'll cut out this front section, just leave the top plate on there for now, just to sort of keep its shape a little bit. I don't want it to move too much, and I'll cut it out in the vehicle as well. Obviously when you re-weld it, it could try and twist and pull the bar work a little bit. So obviously that was relatively easy. So now I can probably get cutting on the bull bar. Okay, so I've cut that first section out. I'm just gonna have to clean up in here because I want to have the plate come right up to where it joins on here. So I'll have to just spend a bit of time with the grinder and tidy that bit up, and then I can start cutting out the plate, folding that and getting that welded on. slowly but surely making some progress. So now I've just got to cut a couple of angles off there and fold it to suit the bar. Righty, I've kind of skipped ahead a little bit here. I had to fold it here and here. So what I did is I put a little slot down the back there. I didn't show any of that on camera, but so I've just put a slot down the back here where I wanted to fold it, just so I could fold it. Because I don't have a folder, so I just put it in a big vise and bent it in the vise. So that's just sitting in there now. It's not even tacked in. It's just wedged in between the two rails of the bull bar. I've brought it forward 80mm from the original spot on the bull bar, and that's to give me enough clearance for the bracing and stuff, because I'm going to add an extra 20mm of clearance for the bracing on the rear of the winch. Yeah, so I'm just going to tack this into place now, and I'll step back, have a look at it, make sure I'm happy with it. And then I've got to like fill it in down the bottom here. I'll probably cut this section out completely and just redo all that so it's all nice and new. And then it'll be time to take the bull bar off and I guess mount the winch and then do the infill around the top part to make that all nice. Yeah, so I hope you're sticking around and enjoying the video. Yeah, I mean, you could just buy a bull bar, but where's the fun in that? So, yeah, stick around. We'll keep going. I'll tack this on now, and yeah, we'll see how it all turns out. Yeah, so one thing I haven't mentioned yet is I've got to cut this bit of tube out here, and then bring that forward to clear the winch, obviously, and then I'll re-weld another bit of tube in forward of it like this, and then that'll sort of come across and then angle back into there with a bit of a bend there. So hopefully that'll look alright at the end. So it'll sort of sit something like that with a bend and then back into there, but you'll see that later on in the video. Hopefully that'll look alright. We'll see how it goes. That's tacked in place. I think that's pretty even across there. I'll just double check all that. And that, just with a couple of tacks, that's pretty solid. Okay, so still working away at this. Just cut this last bit out, new bit of angle there. Yeah, just got to cut these little bits out. I'll tack it all in. And then yeah, a bit of finish welding. I'm just going to trial fit the winch and stuff first, just to make sure that's all good. And then we'll go from there. Oh, got a little visitor. This is our new dog, Rusty. Hello, Rusty. Where you going? Good boy. It's 10 weeks old. Okay, so I'm going to cut those out. I'm just going to use an angle grinder for that, just because I'm trying to get these to fit pretty well, because this is 3mm plate, not 5mm like the rest of this. Okay, so something like that. I'll just tack that in. Okay, so I've tacked those in now. Just used a bit of masking tape just to hold them in place. Yeah, so I'll flip the bar up now. I'm going to cut this bit of tube out. I don't know if you can see in there the infill. I'll need to cut that out and I'll test fit the winch up, put it back on the car. Make sure I'm happy with it so I can then, I guess, finish weld it. I've just got to also make a nice little bit through there that I've kept the parts I've cut out, so I'll try and just trim them up and make them fit and grind it all back to make it a sort of a bit of a factory look when I'm done. Rightio, so now I'll just gonna test fit the winch, and then eventually this will be all in here. This will be infilled here, just a bit of a cutout where the winch goes, make it all nice. And then yeah, we can finish weld everything off inside and out. Yeah, it's slowly coming together. Kind of have to hold it because it'll rotate around. I think that one's in. Okay.
Don't drop it.
You on? Cool.
Looks like a mouth.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your help, gents. Okay, so I've just been mucking around with this top bit of tube here. This is my first iteration, but yeah, not happy with that because of the angles. Like if you look at that, it's different angle down there. I was just worried down in this section, down in here, I'm not going to be able to weld in behind there. But I think I'm going to have to change that. It's no good like that. So I think it's going to have to come off something like this. I just have to angle it on directly onto there rather than have this little bit of tube there, I think. So that's that's sort of following the angle of the bar a bit better like that. Rightio, so I've welded that one on or tacked it on. Something a bit like that. It sort of follows the angle along there a bit better. So yeah, I'll just do the same with this side, and then I'll take the bull bar back off and do the infill at the back, and then I can finish weld everything. I might TIG all in here, I think, if I can get into it. I think it might be a bit easier to leave a decent TIG weld there than try and grind that off. We'll see how we go anyway. Okay, so after a fair bit of grinding and welding, I've still got more to go. I've got to sand it all now, sand off these so they're nice, because at the moment they've got a few flat spots. I've kind of made up some cardboard templates for the infill there. This little bit here will be just a bit of 40mm flat bar, maybe an angle even, just to make it easy to get the winch in and out. And I'll just make that level there, and yeah, it's almost ready to just do the final preps and I guess paint it. Yeah, so this is the underside. Sort of see where those infills are. Obviously that needs a little bit more of a sand and a go over. And I've still got to just fix up that little notch out there in the front hoops. And then yeah, I'll just fix all this up here. Yeah, it's coming together. Okay, so I've made the infills now. They're just clamped in place with the G-clamps at the moment. I'm still debating whether I put a bit of bar across the back here or not. I actually think I might just leave that out. Just something less for the rope to foul on if it does try and bind up a bit. It's only got to bind up at the front. Yeah, so I'll pull the winch out and I can weld that infill in, and then it's just grind, clean up, get ready for paint, and then it's ready for action. Okay, so I'll just give it another wipe down with the wax and grease remover, and then I can give this a quick blast with the rattle can for the primer. Rightio, so I've finished, I guess, the fabrication side of it now. I'm just priming all the bare metal now, in prep for the top coat. So yeah, it's getting closer every minute. I hope to have the winch and everything back in the car and finalised probably tomorrow, time permitting. And then I'll be able to give it a bit of a test run. Okay, so I've done the first top coat, so I've got to let that dry now and give it a good rub back, and then I'll mask everything up with the rest of the bar and or the ARB sticker at least, and then I'll probably take the indicators out and I'll rub back the whole thing and give it a good spray. Yeah, but I think it's come up okay. So yeah, I finished the paint now, just got to let that dry. Then Then we can put the winch in and put it back on the car. And my son's doing some work on his tray, so he's got some new tray sides. Yeah, there's his patrol there. So he's built this tray.
Just to put that into context, most of the game full stop is 83. The Giants are on record pace for inside 50.
Alright, so I'm now winding on the new rope. So I've just doubled it up. I'm just gonna tension it by hand for now, and then I'll have to go out somewhere and just put a bit of load on it with the car somewhere where I've got a bit more space. Yeah, as you can see, it's got this red, I guess, indicator. So once that starts being exposed, that's you know when to stop pulling out the rope. Yeah, and then it's just got a nice little, it's hard to see, but there's a little bolt down there with a little like aluminium thing on there to hold the end of the rope onto the drum. It's pretty neat. Yeah, so we'll wind that on as best I can. I've got a light bar to put on still as well, which I'm debating whether it's only sort of between here and here, so I was just debating whether to put it down here or put it up under here, but I think it's going to end up down here. It's because obviously there's not a lot of space there for spotties now, so yeah, anyway, I'll wind this on and then I'll get the light bar on. Okay, so yeah, just wind it on, keep tension on it, try and guide it on nice and even all the way. Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge, as you probably already know, to make it all pretty, but if you take your time, you can get it done. Rightio folks, so I'll leave it there. Yeah, I hope you stuck around and enjoyed the video. Yeah, give us a like and a comment if you've got anything constructive to say. If you haven't got anything constructive to say, well, keep it to yourself maybe. Yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.